Recently I've been doing my Class 2 license. Gonna get that license to ride a big 600cc ZX6R or ZX10R. I think it's the equivalent of a European A license or Japanese large motorcycle license. It's not easy though. It's really hard. I mean, I've been only to 2 lessons so far, but I'm having difficulty passing the lessons before I can move on to the actual test itself. Alright, hold up, I gotta get some petrol because I forgot to top up my tank yesterday. I'm gonna run out in the middle of a ride today. I'm gonna get me some cheap gas. Alright, talk to you later. Alright, so where was I? Right, I was complaining about how hard it was. Yeah, slightly hard. I don't know if I can complete the course on time because I've been having trouble doing the figure of 8 on the provided XJ6. I mean, the bike is really heavy for what I'm used to. I mean, I'm always riding a DRZ. If not, before that I was riding an FZ16. Both were very light bikes. And getting on the XJ6 for the first time, it was like, wow, it's heavy. I mean, I've ridden a heavy bike before. I've ridden a CBF 600S and a CBR 600RR when I was overseas, but those were relatively short periods of time and mostly on straight roads. But this time I'm riding an XJ6, a Yamaha XJ6, and doing Gymkhana courses, you know, while getting my license. The reason why I can't do the figure of 8 is because I'm so used to putting my foot down on a sumo, whereas it's not allowed in your license exam. Instead, you are supposed to keep your knees tucked into the tank and lean with the bike, like, you know, usual sport bike fashion, lean with the bike instead of putting a foot down to make a turn. And the kicker here is that, well, you have to do that in 10 seconds or less or you fail. So, oh my god, I'm like, you know, too afraid to go too fast because it's a figure of 8, but I'm forced to go fast because there's a time limit. Maybe I just suck at it. But I really want to get it done as fast as possible, get my license, and maybe eventually move on to the ZX6R. I've been considering getting either a ZX6R or ZX10R, mostly to a ZX6R because it's cheaper, but it's not cheaper by much, and I'm wondering whether I should buy the ZX10R instead. But I feel like it's wasted because buying a ZX10R in Singapore is like throwing money into the wind because you're paying almost 7 to 9 grand more for the ZX10R, and then on top of that your gas consumption is a lot more than ZX6R because of the engine capacity. I might get a ZX6R, but knowing Kawasaki's prices, you know, like for example, if you get an R1, you could get a decently new second-hand R1 for I think about 12 grand-ish. You know, maybe something from 2014 or 2013. You can get one for about that much. But when it comes to Kawasaki's, alright, Kawasaki has its dealership hold a monopoly over here, and there isn't a huge demand, so there isn't a proliferation of sales. So the Kawasaki's tend to cost a lot more than Yamahas and Hondas. So while Yamaha around the 2013 to 2014 models for an R1 could get you maybe 10 to 12k in price, if you wanted to get a ZX6R from the same year, it's gonna cost close to 20 grand. A lot of you guys are gonna say like, hey Reize, I mean, you know that the Kawasaki's are gonna be expensive, why don't you try and get a Yamaha instead? Why do you have to buy a ZX6R? Actually, the reason why I'm so insistent on the ZX6R is because it fits the description of one bike that I have never tried any part of it before. It's a sport bike which I've admittedly ridden, but I've never owned. It's a Kawasaki which I've never ridden in my entire life before, and okay, I may have ridden a 600cc before, but that's a CBR 600RR. It's not in the same ballpark as Kawasaki sport bikes in terms of performance. Okay, it is, but I mean, come on, the Kawasaki is so much better at the sport bike market than a Honda does. So yeah, hopefully I can complete my Class 2 license and pass it as early as possible because if you do not like meet the grade, they do not see that you can do the timing, they'll fail you over and over again until you get that timing nailed down. So I hope I don't have to keep redoing it over and over again because it's expensive as hell and I don't want to go broke just getting a license, man. So let me know in the comments below how the license is held in your country. Do you have such ridiculous testing systems where it's so hard to pass if you do not have the skill for it? And what do you think about my choice of insisting on that ZX6R? Let me know down in the comments below, and of course do give me a like and thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.